But what is the definition of the law of attraction? The law of attraction says that you do not attract into your life what you want, you attract what you are. In the spiritual realm, or like magnets, that's why it's called law of attraction. Attraction, because we attract, we're like magnets, we attract what we feel internally, we attract what we're vibrating at. And ultimately, deep down, the feeling that we are trying to obtain is the feeling of contentment and gratitude. So gratitude's always been a mysterious concept to me. So I grew up going to a Catholic school, grew up going to church, and they always talked about praying and being grateful. And then moving on with life, when I ended up delving into the world of self-help, I came across the same thing. Everybody, all the gurus and all the self-help books are talking about gratitude. And all this time I didn't get it, but I think now I've finally been able to get a grasp of what they're trying to say. And so that's why I'm making this video, because I want to talk about gratitude and how I believe it's the pathway to manifestation and attracting what you want into your life. So if you click this video, I'm assuming that you want to attract or manifest something into your life. And so I want you to think and ask yourself, what is it that you really want? Because ultimately, when we're trying to manifest something, when we're trying to attract something into our life, it's not actually the object, like the car or the more money, that we're trying to attract. Fundamentally, it's the feeling that these objects are going to give us, which we're trying to attract. And ultimately, deep down, the feeling that we are trying to obtain is the feeling of contentment and gratitude. Because, so say for example, once you get that car, once you get more money, then you're going to feel grateful, then you're going to feel contentment. But what is the definition of the law of attraction? The law of attraction says that you do not attract into your life what you want, you attract what you are. And so another question to ask yourself is, what are you feeling in the present moment when you're trying to attract something? Are you feeling lack of not having, or are you feeling gratitude for the things that you do have? Because as I said, the definition of the law of attraction says that you do not attract into your life what you want, you attract what you are. And that feeling that you're searching for, that feeling of contentment and gratitude, once you get that, whatever you're trying to attract, is available right now in the present moment. You can feel the gratitude right now. You can feel content for what you already have. And that's why so many millionaires can be depressed, whether, like, despite having a lot of, material items, material success. And Jim Carrey said that, I hope everybody could get rich and famous and have everything that they ever dreamed of, so they will know that it is not the answer. And it's because we tend to fall into this trap that it's like a hamster wheel. We think that once we get that, then we'll feel content. Once we get this, then we'll feel content. But the reality is, all we have is the present moment. And in the present moment, we have the ability to feel that emotion of gratitude right now. And feeling that emotion of gratitude is going to attract more of that into our lives, because the definition, like I said, of the law of attraction is you do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. To feel that gratitude right now in the present moment is going to draw more of it into your future reality, and in turn is going to help you attract what you desire. And so I also think about manifestation sort of like prayer, and I think that there's a lot of misconceptions around prayer. And like I said, I grew up going to Catholic school and going to church, and the way that I learned how to pray was you ask God for something that you don't have. Like, God, can you please give me this? Can you please give me that? And putting yourself in this position, you're framing yourself in a position of lack. Like, oh, I don't have this. Can something external to me give me this, to give me the feeling of contentment and gratitude? And I think that's wrong, to approach prayer from a state of lack. And what I believe is that the highest form of prayer is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. What does that mean? To feel that you already have what you are asking for, what you desire. Because to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, I believe, is it's the highest form of belief. It's because in this way, it's a bit of a paradox. I feel the feeling first. I feel, okay, I feel the gratitude. I feel the feeling of the wish fulfilled. That's the highest form of belief, to already believe something that you cannot see. Blessed are those who believe but do not see. And it's a bit of a paradox to have to feel the feeling first before you actually see it in your physical reality. And that's what I believe Einstein is saying when he says imagination is everything. It is a preview of life's coming attractions, because to see it in your mind, to believe in it, is the prerequisite to actually drawing it into your reality. And so some examples of the greats, like Muhammad Ali, he said, I am the greatest. I said that even before I knew I was. That was the self-talk. He wasn't the greatest boxer yet, but he believed it first, and then it showed up into his reality. Because what I think is that external reality is just a mirror of what we feel internally within ourselves. As the Kabbalion states, as within, so without. So ultimately to manifest, to feel that contentment of gratitude, of having the reality which we want to experience requires us to feel it within, and as within, so without, then it will be mirrored in what we perceive and what we'll experience in external reality. And so moving on, now I want to talk about frequencies. I don't know if you'll view this as pseudoscience, but I just want to touch on this because it's a good way to conceptualize what's actually going on with manifesting. So Einstein said that everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy, this is physics. And so if you're in the law of attraction space, you might have seen these charts. I think it's a good way to conceptualize what's actually going on, of how what emotional frequency you're vibrating at is what you'll attract. We do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. So if you're vibrating at the frequency of, love or gratitude, which I think is the frequency of manifesting, then you attract more of that into your reality. And I believe that, like, in the spiritual realm, or like magnets, that's why it's called law of attraction, because we attract, we're like magnets, we attract what we feel internally, we attract what we're vibrating at. And so I guess moving on, how can we apply this? And that's a good question. And I want to bring up a quote, and it goes, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit." So on this path, I've seen that it's really easy to get knocked off the feeling of gratitude, when something happens to you, then you're like, oh, and then you sort of create a lot of internal resistance, and you think, if this didn't happen, or if this happens, then I'll feel grateful. And that's a really difficult thing to overcome. Excellence is a habit. And what does this mean? This means that our gratitude must become a discipline. And that's why I've taken up gratitude journaling, because like the moment I wake up, when I start to think about all the problems that I have, all the things I need to do throughout the day, it's easy to start the day with a negative frame of mind. But what gratitude does, gratitude's sort of like an antidote. It's the antidote to the inner demons, and it's the path towards manifesting the reality you want. So yeah, anyway, these are just all my thoughts on manifesting. Hope you got something out of this. Please let me know down in the comments below if you enjoy this type of content, law of attraction, manifesting, and thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.